It was a cold autumn evening. The streets were unusually quiet, the air filled with the scent of rain that had just passed. The headlights of a sleek black car cut through the dimly lit neighborhood. Inside sat a man of presence, Ethan Williams, a millionaire single dad known in the corporate world for his sharp mind and unshakable determination. But beyond the tailored suits and boardroom victories, he carried something far more fragile: the responsibility of raising his sick daughter, Lily, alone. Lily had her father's hazel eyes, but her late mother's tender smile. She was the light in Ethan's life, the reason he had turned away from shallow parties and hollow relationships. For Ethan, every success meant little compared to the joy of hearing Lily's laughter echoing through their home. That night, they were returning from Lily's ballet recital. She sat in the back seat, still wearing her tiny pink slippers, humming softly. But as they stopped at a red light near an alley, Lily pressed her small hand against the window and whispered, "Daddy, why is she sleeping here?" Ethan frowned and glanced out. There, huddled on the cold pavement under a tattered blanket, was a girl who couldn't have been older than 12. Her face was pale, her clothes torn, her small frame shivering against the brick wall. She looked like a fragile shadow of childhood, abandoned by the world. Ethan's chest tightened. He had seen homelessness before, but seeing a child in such despair through Lily's innocent eyes struck differently. He tried to explain, "Some people don't have homes, sweetheart." But Lily's reply silenced him. "But she's a child like me, Daddy. What if I was the one outside?" Those words pierced deeper than any business deal gone wrong. Without hesitation, Ethan pulled the car to the side, got out, and approached the girl. She flinched at his footsteps, clutching her blanket-like armor. Her eyes were wary, used to rejection. "It's okay," Ethan said gently, lowering himself to her level. "My name is Ethan. What's yours?" The girl hesitated, her lips trembling. "Maya, do you have anyone? Maya, family, a place to go?" he asked softly. Tears welled in her eyes. "No, my mum, she got sick then. She didn't wake up. I tried to stay with my uncle, but he said I was too much trouble. So, I've been here." Ethan felt his throat tighten. He glanced back at Lily, who was watching with tear-filled eyes. "Daddy, can she come with us? Please?" And in that moment, something shifted inside him. He wasn't just a businessman or a father to one little girl. He was a man standing at a crossroads. He could walk away like the rest of the world, or he could choose differently. "Come on, Maya," Ethan said firmly. "You're coming home with us tonight." At first, Maya didn't trust him. Even when she sat at the grand dining table in Ethan's luxurious home, she barely touched the steaming bowl of soup placed before her. She ate slowly, as though expecting someone to snatch it away. Lily, on the other hand, was full of warmth, pulling Maya's hand and showing her her toys, her room, and even her ballet slippers. Days turned into weeks, and Maya began to soften. She laughed for the first time when Lily insisted they build a blanket fort in the living room. She smiled shyly when Ethan complimented her drawings, which she sketched late at night to soothe her broken heart. But healing wasn't easy. Ethan discovered Maya had nightmares, dark, trembling nights where she screamed for her mother, begging not to be left alone. He would sit by her bed, holding her hand, whispering, "You're safe now. You're not alone anymore." Ethan's world began to change. The man who once measured his life in profits and contracts now found himself measuring it in the sparkle of two little girls' laughter, in bedtime stories, in pancakes on Saturday mornings. Maya's presence filled a void in their home they didn't know existed. Yet, challenges soon arose. Social services came knocking, questioning Ethan's decision to take Maya in. They doubted his intentions, warning him that taking responsibility for a child without legal guardianship could lead to complications. The board members at his company raised eyebrows to whispering that Ethan had become distracted from business. For a moment, Ethan felt the weight of the world pressing him back toward the life he knew: structured, predictable, safe. But every time he saw Maya flinch at loud noises or cling to Lily's hand when strangers were near, his resolve hardened. At a board meeting, when pressured to focus on work and leave personal charity matters aside, Ethan stood tall and declared, "Success means nothing if I walk past children like Maya and do nothing. If being human makes me less of a businessman, then so be it." The room fell silent. Ethan didn't care. Months later, after endless paperwork, court visits, and emotional battles, Ethan finally stood in a courtroom holding Maya's hand. The judge's voice echoed, "Mr. Williams, the court grants you legal guardianship of Maya Carter." Tears rolled down Maya's cheeks, not of sorrow, but relief. For the first time since losing her mother, she had a place. She had a family. That night, as Ethan tucked both girls into bed, Lily asked sleepily, "Daddy, are we a bigger family now?" Ethan kissed their foreheads. "Yes, sweetheart. Families aren't always about blood. Sometimes they're about love and the people we choose to never give up on." Maya whispered, her voice breaking, "Thank you, Daddy." For Ethan, it was the first time she called him that, and in that moment, all the riches in the world felt insignificant compared to the wealth of love within that single word. Years later, Maya grew into a confident young woman, excelling in art and carrying a light in her eyes that no one could dim. She often told her story how a man and his little daughter refused to walk past her on a cold night, how kindness turned her life around. And for everyone who listened, her story became more than just inspiration, it became proof. Proof that sometimes the smallest act of compassion can rewrite a destiny. Message to the audience: we live in a world where it's easy to look away, to say someone else will help, but sometimes you are that someone. Ethan didn't just change Maya's life, Maya changed his. True wealth isn't in what we own, but in the love we give and the lives we touch. The end.